Welcome back to Talkin Shop with ShopSabre. I'm Brandon, back with Jesse and Garrett, and we have a special guest today, Sean Morley.
Yeah, this closet's packed.
Yeah, this closet is packed.
Yeah.
We got 2 janitor buckets here.
A lot of men in this room.
Yep, 55-gallon bucket upside down, and then we gave Sean that pile of books over there. Sean. Yeah, well, sorry, this is what we have to work with. It's a janitor
beggars
closet.
Can't be choosers.
We tried to kick Garrett out, but we remembered we don't know how to run this thing. So.
Yeah, we need him.
So
we should have gave him your chair since he brought donuts for us.
It's true. He did bring donuts for us.
It's true.
Really fat, really flat pancakes.
You can have my bucket.
What do they call those?
What was that thing?
Really?
They called it a Frisbee?
Really thin pancakes.
I want you to say, I love really thin pancakes.
I don't usually eat Frisbees, but...
They look like a giant Frisbee.
Yeah.
A Frisbee with cinnamon on
In all fairness, I ate a whole mess of those this morning.
it. Oh, man. Yeah, so last week we talked about shipping and importing.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
Yeah, I thought so. It kind of went through a lot of the hurdles and things you got to think about.
Challenges we're facing.
Yeah, and then this week I think we're going to talk a little bit about sacrificing quality for profit.
It's a good topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something you got to take into consideration right now, right?
Well, I think there's a lot of people that are willing to do it right now. There's a lot of people that are sacrificing their quality just to make a profit.
Yeah, there are, for sure.
And Sean can probably speak to this because, Sean, you run your business, and realistically, there's a whole lot of corners being cut out there, even for you trying to buy stuff. You know, it seems like finding materials, finding, the right people, all that stuff. It's really easy to cut a corner right now if you wanted to.
Finding anything right now is tough.
Yeah.
And I mean, even in some cases, you're getting products swapped out, you don't even know it.
Yeah. And that's kind of my statement right there. Like you said, you don't even realize people are doing it. And sometimes, I get it. You have to use like equipment. Sometimes you don't have a choice. But there is a difference between, like equipment or like products and then just cheap stuff just to get by.
Intentionally.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the reality of where you're at right now. But, this past weekend, though, Caden, he had a hockey game.
Oh, surprise.
Yeah, weird, right?
Don't you guys have like 7 days a week hockey?
I had something like that, man. We're at the hockey rink all the time.
Pick a day you have hockey.
Yeah, hockey. You get a hockey game. You get a hockey game.
Everybody gets a hockey game.
So, no, that was fun. What'd you guys do this weekend? Anything fun?
I only got 2 kids.
Yeah, dude, you got 93 kids.
You're going to be impressed, right?
Oh, what'd you do?
Least handy person you've ever met other than yourself.
Yep.
We remodeled the bathroom in 24 hours.
Who'd you pay?
Brianna, with love.
Makes sense.
Love you so much. Please do this for me.
That checks out. I could see her being
That's
the
what
one.
we did all weekend.
Did it turn out?
Yeah, it did.
Did you install a bidet?
Surprisingly. What's that?
Did you install a bidet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it.
I got one.
That's sweet.
Absolutely. Off your recommendation.
That's pretty sweet.
That cold water takes a little getting used to.
Whoa, what was that?
I'm awake.
Sean, what'd you do this weekend? Anything fun?
Did you put in a bidet?
Work, wrestling tournaments.
Okay, what'd you do with the other 91 kids?
I don't know where they're
You snowboard? Sweet.
Yeah, we
I've
went
never
tubing.
seen- You did?
We went tubing.
Awesome.
Took the boys up to, I don't remember the name of the place that Garrett hangs out at.
What is that, Redhead Hill?
Elm Creek?
Same thing.
That might be the place, yeah,
Yeah,
Elm
Elm
Creek. Yeah, and we went and, Garrett, you look lost.
Yeah, you do.
You just look lost right now.
I'm just making sure everything's good here.
Okay, well, we don't know if it is or not, but the power light's on, so hopefully people
I
can
think
hear
we're
us.
good.
We're good.
I'm just making sure everyone can hear Sean.
Did you not test that?
Well, I think we're good.
We'll find out later.
We'll find out later, I guess. Maybe Sean's mic's not on.
A distance voice.
Yeah, like, why is there this guy that sounds just off in the background there?
Yeah, it's plugged in. I think we're good.
Oh, man. Garrett, what'd you do this weekend?
I ran into my boss when he was about 40 miles north of where he resides.
True story.
Were you snowboarding?
No, I was actually out getting a couple drinks with friends and walks in Brandon's wife. I'm like, hey, wait, I recognize you.
Yep. And as soon as I start walking up, Garrett sprints for his vehicle. He's like dodging me like through his cars, like through the parking lot. So, of course, naturally you scream out, Gingy!
That checks out.
Across the parking lot. Just had to, I mean, trust me, the people around us were like, what is that guy yelling at that child?
Skirt, skirt. Garrett's gone.
Garrett's buddies were all like jumping in the truck, like trying to hide.
Yeah, I see you enough during the week.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But no, yeah, we had a good weekend. So, like I said, I figured we better recap the weekend a little bit before we jump into this topic because it's about to get serious.
Yeah, it's about to get real serious.
About to get real serious.
Real.
Real?
Real.
real serious. Somebody say cereal? But yeah, so Sean's here this week because Sean, you're working with us now.
I am.
So that's kind of cool.
Good time.
Yeah. Sean, he's still running his shop. Nothing's changed there. But Sean was like, I have 93 kids. I have a business to run. But you know what? I need more.
Yeah, please.
I
What's more
need
on my plate?
And what better for more? Was his mic off?
His mic was off.
Now it's on.
You dumbass.
So
We're good now.
Literally nobody heard anything Sean has been saying all morning.
Maybe.
Like I said, voice in the distance closet.
Yeah, there we go. Well, we fixed it.
I thought something looked wrong. I'm like, why is his audio level kind of low? Well, that's why.
Sean Morley, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks. I'm back.
Jeez. So for all of you that missed everything Sean said, Sean has 93 kids. He did something this weekend with every
Did some
93
wrestling, went
kids. Yep.
snowboarding.
And now we were just asking him, how did he join the team? Because, he's got his business to run, 93 kids, and obviously his wife. But yet he was like, I need more to do. So I'm going to go work for ShopSabre.
What else can
Why
I
not?
take on?
So, yeah, Sean is going to join the video team here. So, obviously, we got Router Bob. You probably saw anybody who saw the videos from last month, saw the video that we introduced Sean on them. And Sean's going to be a part of that team to help us get into a little bit more in-depth video. We're going to try to do a little bit more with our YouTube channel. And, in fact, we have a really cool video we're working on this week. It's going to be a real project that Sean did, recently, right? Is
Yep,
the one you're working?
just got installed. Painters are going next week.
Awesome. So and we're going to cut the same thing. We're going to show it off how it was done. It's kind of a cool project. So we're really excited about that. But like I said, so Sean is going to join us here on the podcast occasionally because, well, he's going to be here in the office. So
Why not?
Yeah. And he's cooler than all of us. So.
Look at that beard. That's my favorite part
Oh
of
my
this.
God. Here we go again.
Yeah.
Here we go. You got to hear about his beard more and more and more. John, you might not be able to come to the office anymore.
Yeah.
All I hear about is your beard for the next 2
I think
weeks.
he's okay with it.
We'll see what he says when the wife makes me shave it
There we go.
this summer.
Oh, boy.
See what happens.
He'll cry. I'm going to tell you right now.
Relationship over.
He's going to cry. He's going to cry.
Or maybe he'll be happy because he'll finally have more facial hair than me.
That's a
Even
good
after you
point.
shave, it might
Even
not
after
be.
you shave, you probably will.
I was just gonna say, have you seen that thing?
Yeah.
So, funny story about his. Did he tell you about his? You notice how it's cleaned up a little bit there? He asked his wife to trim it up for him, and she just straight in tried to take as much of it as
Yeah.
she could. It was pretty awesome.
She came at me like a terrorist. Scary.
But anyways, let's jump on topic here. So, sacrificing quality for profit. Why'd we choose this topic? Realistically, we're talking about some of these shipping nightmares that we've been dealing with, right? Machine damage, things like that. And the reality is you're going to have to look at, a way to get around some of your costs as a company, right?
Right.
And some of the companies out here aren't really willing to do the research to find an alternative solution. They're
No,
just willing to cut corners.
Right.
Find
You're
a-
seeing it.
Yeah. So, recently, we ran into a situation where a machine got damaged. I'm going to be honest. We work with shipping brokers. I'm just, going to be
Well, yeah, it
honest.
happens. Like, it's the real world, right?
Yeah, we have shipping brokers out there that handle our shipping. All of our machines are shipped with full insurance on them, so that way the customer's not on anything. Should something happen, it gets taken care of. But the broker didn't properly advise the company of the insurance they were going to be needing. So the shipping company ended up damaging the machine and then trying to say that there was no coverage on it.
Wow.
Yeah, and realistically, our company stepped up to the plate and just paid it out of pocket. We had to make the customer whole.
Right.
We got the customer a new machine right away. We did what we could do there to get them up and running as fast as we could, but it cost the customer nothing. Obviously, it's something that we handled. So we went back to the broker, and the brokers were like, well, it's not our fault. Well, it kind of is your fault. Weren't you the one that was supposed to have insurance on there? Maybe. So, nevertheless, the difference is instead of cutting corners for a profit, we went the whole distance. We made sure that we made the customer right, even though it cost us money,
Right.
because it was the right thing to do. And, I think it's easy to look at profit and forget about the other things. It really is.
Oh, for sure. Right?
Because we easily could have said, well, it's the shipping company's fault, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's
on the
not our issue. Work with the shipper, right?
Like it was fine when it left ShopSabre. Like it's the shipping company's fault.
Yep.
But realistically, there was a point where it's like, okay, we have to, stand behind the mistake of, realistically, we should have probably pushed on them for that insurance certification before I left.
Right.
So, you know what? I'm going to own the responsibility there, right? So we're going to own up to it. We're going to get this customer taken care of. But not every company works that way right now. And, really when you start looking at it, you have to start thinking about profit versus quality. And, Garrett, as an example, like what comes to mind when I say quality versus profit to you? Like, what are you thinking about when it comes to that?
Quality. Good question.
It's a good question, he says. I like how Garrett went to the high school response of, Garrett, what do you think about quality versus profit? What do I think about quality versus profit?
That's actually what I did.
Yeah, he's restates the question, trying to buy himself some
I
time.
need time to think about it.
Just caught me thinking about snowboarding after
Yeah, exactly.
school.
Jesse,
Can't
jump
blame
in there.
him.
What are you thinking about when I say quality versus profit?
I want both, right?
Yeah.
That's what I think of. I want good quality, but I also want to make profit.
Yeah.
Right. I think I also think of tough decisions. Right. You have tough choices to make there.
Yeah.
That's the thing that gets me. Like, what's more important? More profit, better quality.
Yeah.
I want both.
No, for sure.
I
That's
think
what everybody wants.
I think that with quality, of course, profit is going to be the goal, but at the end of the day, you have to make sure your customer is happy. So, your quality has to be there. Otherwise, you're not going to get those profits because then your business won't be long term.
Yeah. I guess, Sean, jump in on this one. What would you think of when we say quality versus profits?
I've been down the road of buying some less expensive tools, and it never pays off. In the end, you end up fighting with it. Takes longer to set up. You have issues. Things break. Can't get parts. Just a number of things. Okay. Where if you sacrifice some of that, one of the things I talk about guys all the time is instead of the 4x8, go with the 5x10 for a cabinet shop.
Yeah.
And that little bit extra money, it makes a big difference in the long run.
Yeah.
And having a good quality machine that you can always depend on it speaks volumes.
Yeah.
I've got guys in the shop, yesterday, this whole week, and they're running the machine. I don't have to worry too much about it.
No, exactly. And for me, quality versus profit, really what comes to mind for me is reputation. It's my reputation. Like, simple as that. Like, quality versus profit means reputation.
Right.
That's really what it comes down to is, like, if you focus on quality, your reputation's going to typically be a little better.
It should be where it's at, right?
Yep. And if you're pricing your stuff correctly when you're looking at quality, profit should be there.
Right.
So, it's guys who are looking at that profit that they're making today, and then they see that, okay, that part isn't available, and they sacrifice the quality of the part now to maintain that profit margin rather than adjusting everything, and it takes a little bit more work as a business owner to adjust for profits. If you have a profit margin you're trying to maintain, you have to know where that margin is.
Right.
You have to know where your discount structures can be or can't be. And the reality is, in the world we live in today, people think, I heard it the other day, I was at hockey, and one of the dads was saying, he was talking about his business. And as he's talking about his business, he says, yeah, we had a pretty good year last year. He said, but, we were really struggling with making, more money last year, even though we were selling a lot of stuff. And I asked him, I said, well, why do you think that is? And he straight up told me, he's like, well, when you're looking at discounting and things like that, he's like, I don't need to discount, is what he said to me. He goes, I don't need to discount. Somebody's going to walk on that lot and buy that. So I'm not going to discount it. And I looked at him and I said, but did that help you sell more? Well, I mean, I made more money on the item I was selling. I said, yeah, but you sold less items then. Mm-hmm. Because people aren't going to work with you then. Like, it comes back to, like, you're being arrogant, and it's one of those things where car dealerships are a perfect example. They're raising these prices up, right? Way above sticker price.
Right.
There's a lot of people that wanted to buy new trucks but they aren't going to do it. They're just not going to do it, and it's not costing you more at that point. There is a point where the vehicle does cost more, right?
Right.
So the price has to go up, and you can't afford to give as big of a discount, right?
Yep.
That's a real thing.
It stinks.
But there's also a point where you're just gouging.
Absolutely, and you're seeing a lot of it.
Yeah, and that's the difference. Is like that's where it comes back to. Is like that reputation will get you more in trouble. So yeah, you might make a little bit more on a few more sales, but you're going to lose more sales because people don't want to deal with it.
Your reputation's in the toilet.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that, but it's just think about it. If I can sell 10 products at a margin number, right? But I can, and then I make 1% more on my margin, but I only sell 3 products. Did I make more money?
No.
No, you lost money. I mean, yeah, you made more money on those 3 products, but you didn't make more money. So it's one of those things where profit versus quality really has to be, taken into consideration, and it's an important topic because the shift in the world we're dealing with right now, people are willing to give up more right now to get something that will lead them to problems in 1 or 2 years.
Right.
Like realistically, that's where we are again. Imagine where we're going to be when these cheap products that are out there right now, begin to fail.
People are going to be in some trouble, right? They're going to be in some situations.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but like, I kind of like it. Like, I kind of like the fact that people are rushing out and buying all these in stock products that are,
of course,
lower quality, because I've been through it. Like, I've done this before.
Yeah.
Like, go back, 10 plus years ago it was roughly, and I remember when people were rushing out to buy all these Chinese machines, right?
Yep.
That's what let's talk about CNC for a second. I know we try not to just talk about ShopSabre, but I'm going to talk about it because that's what I know. When you look at 10 years ago, I remember people buying these cheap machines out there, and everybody call us up on the phone beating us up on, oh, you got to cut your price, the Chinese product is cheaper, blah, blah, and I wasn't going to do it. I'm not here to compete against Chinese prices.
Right.
Like, their imported prices are imported prices because of the quality.
Exactly.
I can't compete against it.
Yeah.
So I have 2 choices. I either cut the quality to try to be competitive with their price, or I leave my quality where it is and know that eventually it's going to come back around full circle. And it did.
Right.
It came full circle. I mean, for a couple of years there, we did. We got beat up, and we didn't make as much as maybe we could have made, right, if we were willing to sacrifice it. But 2 years later, when all those machines started failing and people were calling us up like, oh, I should have listened. I should have bought your machine. That's where the buy your second machine the first time came from. That's where that came from, was that time.
I bet that's pretty exciting.
So it's like, I see it happening again. Like, all these people are like shifting, like, oh, I got to save $47, or, whatever it is that you're buying. You're trying to cut marginal amounts out of, like you said, Sean, you buy cheap tools.
For one steak of the customer?
And then it costs you more money in the long run because the tool fails, the service sucks, you're frustrated, your business is getting hurt by it because now your customers are waiting because your machine's not running.
Well, then you got to sell it for half what you paid for it, and then buy something of quality that will cost a little more money.
It goes to that quote, one of my favorite quotes, right? It takes a really rich man to buy cheap equipment.
Yeah.
Right? You better have deep pockets if you're buying cheap equipment.
Well, that's exactly
you're
it.
gonna need them.
And you hear these guys that, and I get it, everybody's trying to justify their reasoning or their, decisions. And they're, well, this is just a temporary machine for me. Temporary or not, it's still profit.
It's still money.
Yeah, like, it's, like you said, Sean, like, okay, cool, you bought a temporary machine, now you're going to sell it and you lose half the money you spent on it.
Awesome.
How does that make sense?
Great investment.
Like, yeah, great job in investing there. Like, you could have just bought the more expensive machine, still used it temporarily as you claim you're going to be, and then you can sell it and make majority of your money back. Like, it doesn't make sense to just throw money away. Like, hey, you got some money over there? Let's put it on the table and start it on fire.
Yeah,
because that sounds good. Like, it just, to me, doesn't make sense. So it's like, as you start looking at the, quality versus profit, like, buy a higher quality system so you can make more profit.
Sounds like a no-brainer.
Because at the end of the day, like, if I buy a machine for $100, right? Cheap machine, right?
Cheap, yeah.
Yeah. But if I can sell it for $90, I only lost $10 on that deal.
It's not bad.
But if I buy a machine for $50, but I can only sell it, for $10 when it's done, on an actual, percentage of loss, I lost more money.
What did you really gain?
Yeah,
right?
like, I would rather hang on to more of my money.
Yeah, me too.
So that's where you can, really gain in this stuff. So, as you start talking about quality in your business, what does quality in a business look like? I mean, I know, it's going to be components that you use, whether it's hardware for your cabinets, whether it's motors for a CNC machine, the components that are being used are part of the quality. The materials used, obviously, right?
Yeah.
We start looking at material.
Exactly. Are we using American steel? Are we using Chinese steel? What are we building with?
Yep. And I know, Sean, when it comes to materials, you can probably speak to that. I mean, there's definitely a difference in even the cabinet grade material that you buy. I mean, the good
sure.
stuff versus the bad stuff.
For sure. And in cases, we just had one recently where our supplier switched out to something else because that's what they could get. And we got it, and it was garbage.
See, and that affects your business then. They
Absolutely
swapped it out and it affects you. And then employees. Let's talk about that, The unknown of the employees right now. You have quality employees versus just employees.
Right.
Right? I mean, we've all experienced that. We got to hire people, and it's like you're trying to find the quality people. And
it's like you're trying to find a unicorn.
Good luck finding an employee right now.
Yeah, and a lot of that is people are willing to sacrifice the search, right? They don't want to look anymore. They get worn out, so you know what, I'm
Beat
just going
up,
to hire
right?
somebody, right?
Burnt out looking for people.
Yeah, and then the problem is they hire the wrong person. And then it's twice as much work as if they would have just kept digging away at it. You
Right.
know?
And how burnt out are you by the time you have to get rid of that person and find your next one?
Correct.
You're
And you
just
start all
it.
over. Yeah, you have to start all over.
this.
So it's not fun. And then, you look at machines in your shop. As you talked about, Sean, you can buy cheap equipment, right? Cheap tools. I mean, there's a difference there in what quality looks like, There's going to be a difference between a quality machine and a non-quality machine.
Right.
Shipping. I mean, that's another thing. Like, we get it all the time from these customers that are like, you know what? I'll handle my own shipping. Yours is too expensive. Okay. And then a guy pulls up and the trailer is literally, the axles are falling off of it.
With a 91 Astro van pulling it.
Like, we've seen it. Trailers that pull up, these guys hire, and it's like, yeah, I'm glad we didn't hire that company. You know, and it's like, because that machine's going to be in a rough ride all the way there,
Yep.
But there is a difference between a quality shipper and a non-quality shipper.
There is.
Does that mean every quality shipper is not going to have problems? No. But does that mean every non-quality shipper is not going to have problems every time? No. I mean, there's always the unicorn in every situation. But
Right.
it's one of those things where you have to look at what you're doing, and then you have lead times. Your lead times in your business will be affected by the quality that you choose.
Absolutely.
Obviously, certain components might take a little longer to build something.
True. And then if you have cut rate equipment and it's down, well, now you're extending your production process.
Yeah, exactly. So you might get something soon, and then now you just move the lead time. That's what I always tell everybody is like, lead time's temporary, right?
Yeah.
Quality's for life.
Yep.
When you buy a machine, okay, if I tell you the machine's going to be, it's a lead time of 10 weeks. I can't wait 10 weeks. Okay. Well, that's what it's going to take me. Okay, I'm going to go buy somebody else's machine. So they buy somebody's machine that they can get in 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, that machine shows up. They get it running. A week later, it breaks down. The parts are on back order for 6 weeks. So now you add your 6 weeks to your 2 weeks, plus the week of waiting. I'm a week difference between buying that quality machine and what you had there.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, and that's the risk you take. Like,
Right.
Think about that. Like, lead time is temporary. You're just moving it. A lot of these cheap machines, they're going to have a problem, and you're going to end up in a situation.
No doubt about it.
Or if you fight the machine, Sean, we know all about that, right?
Yep.
We've seen plenty of people do that with machines. I know that you've had some equipment in your shop in the past where you fight it, and it's like it just prolongs what you're capable of doing. And
Yeah, and sometimes you can't get that service to
yeah,
help fix that.
yeah. And that's the reality. Is like, so yeah, you can get something sooner, but you really don't get to utilize the benefits of it sooner.
No.
And that's something to think about there. And then you got obviously your profits and the cost of doing business, as we talked about. Those will be affected by quality or not quality components.
Absolutely.
And your customer service you're providing, as you said, Sean, you can't get the service from the company. So how are you going to get your machine running? So how can you service your customers?
Just a trickle effect.
You better be really good at making excuses for your customers,
Right.
right? And then deadlines get moved, and obviously that affects things. So you got to think about your deadlines in your business, and then attitudes start to fall. Employees in your business start to get frustrated when they have to deal with that all the time.
That's a bad deal, right? We got to keep attitudes up, everyone in good spirits. Otherwise, production goes down, right?
There's a question I'm going to ask, and what I would ask to customers or to people listening is, does the quality in your business today reflect the quality you were doing pre-COVID?
Oh, geez, that was so long ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Does
Think
anybody-
back.
Does anybody remember pre-COVID?
What was that like?
No, but seriously, when you think about that, like how you conducted business pre-COVID as far as quality goes, are you doing the same thing now? Or are you just trying to get by?
It's a good question.
Something to think about, Did you improve your quality? Some people have done that through COVID, right? They've improved processes. Some people have reduced quality. Why?
Right? Limitations, right?
Yep.
We bought some new equipment through this.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you got some cool stuff that you brought in there. You got that lift.
Lift, vacuum lift,
Yeah, you got a new edge bander.
new edge bander.
Look at you.
It seemed like it was a perfect time to take that route, start adding equipment. That's what
Yeah.
COVID did.
Yeah.
It showed people where your inefficiencies are. How can I get more efficient? Well, if we add this equipment, if we move this employee, if we bring this employee, right?
Look at
That's
us.
the one thing.
We've done it. We've added people, obviously all over the building. But we've also added some new systems. We've also added some new manufacturing processes. We've expanded the building. Like all that happened during COVID.
You're in a bigger closet than the last time I was here.
Yeah, this closet's a little bigger. We're on the other side of the room. It's kind of
It's
nice.
a nice expansion.
You don't have to listen to the brave little toaster furnace light up and go-doom, 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 go-doom.
On the other side,
It
though,
was warm.
the last time I was here, if my mic was off, you wouldn't have been able to tell because I was right next to you.
It's true. You wouldn't even have known his mic was off because he was like sharing a mic with Garrett last
Right.
night.
Almost sitting on his lap.
True.
It's true.
Garrett.
Yeah.
Is your mic on?
My mic's on.
Okay, go. Just checking.
Have we checked all of them?
He's watching the little
Probably
wavy
should.
things on his computer.
Oh, gotcha.
He's like, he's watching the EKG machine here, and he's like, oh, yep. No, we don't got
Someone's
Sean.
flatline.
We don't got Sean here.
That's on me.
That is on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was the one that said prior to us starting the show that like somebody should have come in and prepared, right? Was that me?
I think you maybe
Right? Did I say that?
Might have mentioned it.
May have said something. What do I know?
I don't think you said that.
Yeah. But let's talk a little bit now about trading the quality for profits.
Yeah.
Let's touch on that a little bit here. Many companies are switching gears because they can't get what they normally would use, right? I mean, you
Right.
said it yourself, Sean. Your supplier changed material without you even knowing. Does that mean they're willing to cut corners? I would say so, right? I mean, they're willing to cut a corner if they're going to swap out what they normally would use if they're not willing to tell you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's one thing if you switch something and you're like, hey, heads up, we're switching this just so you're aware.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. But it's another thing when you're like, they won't notice.
Yeah.
It's invisible.
Man, this is a great show. They drag these idiots up on stage and then blindside them.
I would like that call, right?
Yeah.
Just pick up the phone. Hey, we can't get this. Just to let you know I'm swapping it out with this.
Yep.
Okay. If it doesn't work out, let me know. We'll see what we can do for material. Instead of just, hey, surprise.
Yeah.
Guess what?
This is the decision in every business right now.
Right.
I mean, the reality is we're all making these decisions and some are choosing to cut corners and some are choosing to cut profits.
It makes you wonder how much it costs that company when
Yeah.
people, customers are sending everything back.
Yeah. You have to choose wisely with your business, I'll tell you that much. Because we've come across this crossroad several times in the last year where people are like, I can't get you what you normally buy, Brandon, but I can get you this one. It'll save you a little bit of money. And I said, okay, no, what can I buy that is like the one I was using before? Well, it's this one, but it's more money. How much more money? This much more. And then I look at my profit margins and I say, okay, either we're going to raise prices or I'm going to eat into my profit and we're going to go with the higher quality one.
Yep.
And that's what I've done over the years. Like I've done that. Like we have always sacrificed profits for the quality because long term we know quality will make us a lot more profit than sacrificing it.
Oh, it's 100% true. We watch it every day, right?
Yeah, so I mean, we're buying upgraded parts and charging previous pricing in some cases.
Yep.
I mean, think about what that's doing. That's cutting into the profit margins. We're paying
sure.
marked up prices. Think about that. We're paying marked up gouged prices right now.
Oh, yeah.
And not charging more to the client.
If people can see that, that's the things that they don't see, right? They don't understand that.
What they need to remember is okay, you sign a contract with us, right?
Yeah.
We quote you a price. You sign that contract. When you sign that contract, the steel pricing is locked into you. You've locked in that price.
Yeah.
Steel prices change every day.
Yeah, they do.
So by the time, the steel bill comes to me, it's more money.
Right.
I don't come back to you and say, well, bad news. Steel went up. You're going to have to pay the difference.
You're going to need you to send me a check.
Yeah, you need to send me a check for $714 different. It doesn't happen. We just deal with it.
We do.
Bearings and, spindles and motors and all that stuff is stuff we deal with.
Yeah.
But not everybody's like that.
No, not everyone is.
Think about the shipping expenses that are on the rise.
I was going to say that. That's the biggest one. That's what impresses me the most, right?
What the quote is on, or what you were quoted on it, isn't what I'm paying most time.
Right. That's where I was leading. People don't see that.
Yeah.
We free shipping. Yeah, we're shipping up to $2,000, but a lot of times that bill is a lot more.
Yeah.
And they don't see that.
We understand. Sometimes we'll come back to you if it's extreme. I'm going to be honest with you. If something crazy changes, you as a business, you have to be profitable still.
Right.
But
I think people understand that.
the reality is we never nitpick it. We're not coming back to you okay, well, it went up $240. You know what? How many times have you seen it? They come up to me it's $240 over what it is. Just do it.
Just ship it.
Just ship the thing.
Yeah,
Get the thing to the
just send
customer.
it.
I eat the cost. It's just not worth the headache for the customer.
Right.
But people don't see that. What are we doing differently right now? Well, I can tell you we're taking on a lot less custom jobs right now.
We are.
We turn down a lot of custom work right now because
have to.
I can't get enough bandwidth to do what is not custom, let alone add custom in there.
Right.
And I know that frustrates the guy looking for something custom because he's like, well, I don't understand why you can't just do because the world we're in right now, it just adds too much stress to the employees, to the parts vendors. It's too much to try to get a one-off part.
It is.
And it's just not something we can do. We're bringing a lot more in-house too. That's something we've done differently, right?
Yeah.
That cool new 5-axis saw.
All the cool new stuff back there? You kidding?
All the cool new stuff back there. Are you kidding?
It's awesome.
Expanded our warehouse.
We did expand the warehouse. I watched a guy take a wall down the other day.
Really?
Yeah, that was cool. He had a little hammer drill thing on a front of a skid loader. He was just smashing into the wall.
Like a
I'm
jackhammer, but like
yeah,
out.
yeah, it was cool. Just watching him take the wall down.
I could do that job. I can destroy things. I
yeah,
can't fix
you're a
things.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Yes, I am,
definitely.
for sure.
I was thinking about that too as I was watching the guy. I'm like, I could do that.
Yeah.
You know,
Nah,
like,
if you want
I
me
could
to-
crash.
I'd
into
love
the
to
wall.
see that.
You want me to build a new one? Nah.
I'm really good at hitting
Morley.
walls.
You'd probably take your race car through it.
I'm really good at hitting walls with it.
Yes, he is.
So I'm just saying, I could have taken that wall down.
Yeah.
Unintentionally.
Sideways right into it.
Yeah, right into it. Would have been awesome. But yeah, like I said, we are expanding, as you mentioned. We're adding people, so that's always good. By the way, if you're looking for a career change, ShopSabre.com. You know, but delays are going to happen. Let's be honest, right? Delays do happen, especially in the climate we're in. Like, there's nothing we can all do about that. You know, how your business reacts to these delays, though, is what sets you apart.
Oh, for sure.
Like, we are not cutting corners when it comes to trying to get things out the door for customers. And that includes, I've been making calls myself, personal calls to customers to let them know that certain components are on back order and this is the timeline.
Is that what you've been doing in there? I heard you. Doing a lot of talking.
That, and I was practicing my singing.
That's beautiful, too.
Thank you.
Just want to let you know.
Uh,
Voice of an angel.
Thank you. You want to hear it?
Somebody's trying to get more time off.
Yeah, I saw that too. I'm glad you recognize that as well.
No, I think you should belt out a few tunes. Let these people hear it.
Yeah. See, that was me.
That was gorgeous. That was gorgeous. Was a little Celine Dion there or what?
Yeah, it was. Thanks.
Thanks.
But, you know, it makes sense to delay an order to avoid cutting corners, in my opinion.
I agree.
Like, I'd rather delay your order and be honest with you that I'm going to delay it versus cutting quality or corners. If I can't come up with like equipment to the same quality or better, I'm not going to offer it.
I think people appreciate that.
You know, like, it's just not worth it to me because, again, lead time's temporary. Quality is going to be forever.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to cut corners to have to deal with a headache for years to come. I give lifetime tech support.
You got to stand behind that.
Yeah, so if I'm putting something on this machine, I'll promise you it is just as good as what it was going to be on there originally because I don't want to deal with the headache.
Right.
In many cases, it's going to be a little better than what I was going to put on there because, again, I'd rather it be overperforming than underperforming.
Right.
And, you know, when you support American-made companies during this time, you know, companies who are not willing to change themselves simply to accommodate a trend are going to be easier to work with.
For sure.
You know, that's the thing is, like, American-made companies specifically right now who are staying American-made, they're not following the what's easy trend, right?
No, they're for surely not. No,
We know
and
some
they're
competitors
busy.
out there. Yeah, there's some competitors out there right now that we know that are very well known in the industry that have straight up sacrificed quality now because they can't get what they were in the U.S., so now they're going overseas to get it.
Yeah, we're seeing that. For
And
sure.
it's frustrating to see because these companies are companies that claimed American made for so long.
Yep.
And they push it and they hammer on people like, oh, American made, American made.
They benefited off of that.
Yeah. And now they're benefiting off of that reputation.
Yep.
But behind the scenes, they're going, whoop, whoop.
Yep.
Like, no, can't do that.
Yep. More profits.
Yeah. Again,
Less
it's
truth.
sacrificing quality for profit.
Yep.
But, you know, what does the future look like? What do you guys think the future looks like out there?
That's a good question. I hope we start getting back to where we were pre-COVID, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to happen. I think the world
don't know
might
if
slow
pre-COVID
down a
exists
little bit.
anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the world might slow down a little bit.
Well, that's what I was going to say is, you know, I think poorly designed products are going to fail. That's
Yeah.
what I think, first off. I just think a lot of these poorly designed products that came along in, you know, a rush to try to get products onto the market are going to fail.
I agree.
It's
with
going to
you.
happen.
I agree with you.
And then the demand for higher quality will come back around, in my opinion. I think you'll start to see that shift. I think we're probably a little ways out still. I mean, I think you're still kind of in that trading quality for profit right now. But I think we'll get past that. And I think you'll start to see a lot of people saying, it's time to get some quality back in the shop.
Get
You know, I'm
back
willing
to
to pay a
quality.
little bit more for it.
Well, people are looking for quality. We're hearing more and more of that, right?
Yeah, it's the life cycle of the economy, realistically.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the economy grows until the demand peaks, right?
Yep.
Then the economy slows down, and then, you know, that's really due to the fact that people are willing to give up quality for a price tag. So they're going overseas, they're buying stuff cheaper, right?
Yeah.
And the lower quality products start to fail then, because that's what, you know, there's an influx of low quality products. And then it shifts back to people wanting quality and willing to pay a little bit more, and therefore the economy starts to grow again.
Just a cycle.
Yeah, so it's just this inevitable cycle that, you know, comes and goes. You know, it's the ebb and flow of, I want quality. Oh, I'm not willing to pay for it. Oh, no, I should have paid for it. Nope, shouldn't have done that. You know, like, and it's just this up and down thing that you kind of, you know, fight. So it's, you know, realistically, the life cycle doesn't change. You're either waiting for the economy to fail or you're waiting for it to grow. There's no, like, it's the perfect time in the world right now. You know, like
It's ideal.
yeah, like nobody says that. Either way, you know, successful companies are continuing to move forward no matter what. Like you have to keep it that way. I mean, Sean, you're a perfect example. You know, you didn't slow down or hold yourself back during COVID.
No, I think we picked up.
And that's what good companies do is that when things are tough, they go after the business then.
Right.
They know that that's the time to go get it.
Right.
It's easy to go after the business when things are good. It takes some real, you know, grit to get in there.
Dedication.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah,
go
you gotta
do
work
it.
hard.
Yeah, they got to adapt.
Yeah.
Right?
You can't wait forever. The world's still moving. People are still buying stuff. You
Absolutely.
just got to go find the people.
Yeah,
You
that's
gotta put in
exactly.
the work.
You got to adjust to the market, you know, and that's really what it comes down to is. But like you said, I do think we're going to see a change in the world where, you know, everything like we talked about last week. Everybody wants everything now, right?
Yep.
This is starting to breed that mentality of like you can't have it now,
Yeah.
right? I mean, people are starting to be trained of it takes a little bit, right? Lead times are going to be expected, delays are expected, like the prime shipping, if you will, right? Isn't really prime anymore. I mean, I can't.
It's definitely not prime anymore.
No, like I say, I mean, my wife used to
I mean,
buy
you
stuff.
still get stuff on your doorstep every day, but
Yeah.
you know, it was ordered last week.
I'm
Correct.
sure you guys still have Prime shipping, right? You guys are a whole nother level of Amazon account,
They're
right?
platinum
you
tier.
have Amazon Prime, then you have like Diamond, Emerald, and then you have like King Legend status, and that's what your house is. So you guys always will have Prime.
I actually looked it up on Amazon to see what the levels were,
Yeah.
and it is prime, platinum,
Yeah.
gold, Amy.
Amy?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys set
They-
out baskets of goodies for the drivers. They're always going to bring you your
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't know. But no, I mean, the reality is, like, you can't order stuff the way you used to be able to.
No, you can't.
Like, you used to be able to order something and you knew it was going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, there was times the thing showed up the same day.
Same day.
Like, we ordered something here at ShopSabre. Ben did. Ordered a computer cable. And it was here the day we ordered it. Prime brought it to us that day.
yeah.
How does that happen? Like, yeah, like, it just blew my mind. But now you don't even expect it. You're like, you order it and you're like, God, I hope we see it this month.
Right?
Like, so I think that's what you're going to see in the world. I think it's like kind of.
It has built a little more patience in people.
I think so. Like, yeah, I mean, even for us on the CNC side, it used to be like, what's your lead times? 4 to 6 weeks. I can't wait 4 to 6 weeks.
No.
Like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, I can't do anything about that. But now, what's your lead time? We say a number, right? Whatever that number is. Oh, yeah, no, that's acceptable.
Oh, that's not
yeah,
so
like,
bad.
yeah, that's not too bad. Like, okay, cool. Yeah, like, you're glad you realize it. Because there's competitors of ours that are telling people it's 6 months.
Yeah.
Well, that's because those Chinese machines are sitting on the ocean.
Yeah, it's hard to get them off the boat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Floating around, playing battleships.
Battleship.
Oh, you sunk my. Never mind.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey, now, no naming names. But yeah, the reality is, like you said, it's built some patience in people because you can't get it faster elsewhere.
The other side of that, though, surprises me. Like when you get on the phone with a guy, what's your lead time? You tell him, he goes, huh, that's too long. Why do you have lead time? Sir, what planet do you live on?
Yeah.
Are you aware of what's going on in the world right now?
Well,
Like, come on.
Travis was telling me about a story. The guy calls him up recently. There's a guy that called him up and he's like, "Hey, what's your lead time?" Travis did the whole thing, told him what we were looking at. I can't wait that long. Hangs up. Guy calls him back 2 weeks later. Well, looks like the lead times are all about the same, so we should talk about your machine. We're not just
Now
making
it's
lead
2
times.
weeks later.
Yeah, and now it's 2 weeks later, so now you have 2 weeks worth of customers in front of you.
It's funny, too, like when someone says they're looking at our competitor and we know they import,
Yeah.
like your guys' lead time is way too long. Like, oh boy, you have no idea what's coming. I'm going to go with them. They said they can get me a machine in 8 weeks. Okay. Call me in 20 when
Good
that
luck.
hasn't shown up yet.
Well, that's exactly what happens too. You know, that's the frustrating part is you can't control everything, right? I mean, there's things that are going to happen unexpectedly out there. But
Right.
like when you're US made, you have a little bit more control, right?
Right.
You have a situation where when you're looking at a lead time, it's more or less I can walk out in the shop, "Hey Jake, how long is it going to take you to finish that?"
Right.
Like I can figure some of that stuff out. Where if you're importing, you don't really have as much control because you don't know what you don't know, right?
Right.
How long is that ship going to take? How long is it going to take to get the container unloaded? How long is it going to take to get through customs?
Where is it on the ocean?
Has it even hit the ocean yet?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like you can't. You're kind of dependent on. I'm gonna email the supplier and ask the supplier where we stand. You know, and then the supplier can say, "Oh yeah, no, it's just about done. It's gonna be on the boat the next day or so."
Right. They don't have a clue.
They don't. You don't even know if it's going to really be on the boat because is it really even done?
They're just picking answers out of a hat. Like,
Yeah, I mean-
there's a good one.
Yeah, and that's the reality. Is it's like the difference here is like I can walk the floor every day.
Yeah.
Talk to the guys. We see what's going on, and we can adjust our lead times accordingly.
Yeah.
Like when we're quoting people, we are adjusting. I mean, every Monday, I tell you guys, we go through it and we do our meeting, and I try to adjust the lead time every Monday.
Yep.
If there's
Here's where
something
we're at.
major, if there's something that changes, you guys are aware of it. We talk about it. Like we don't leave this stuff with like, oh, let's guess at it and hope for the best,
Right. I think we're going to be around this area.
Yeah. No,
Couple
we have
weeks,
a little bit more insight in that. So like I said,
A lot of
as-
control.
Yeah, as you start looking at really sacrificing your quality for your profits, you got to start thinking about some of those little things. Like, what does sacrificing quality for profits really look like? Is it going to be your profits are sacrificed because the machine fails? Is it because the material you bought was cheap? Is it because the employee you hired isn't very good? You have to start thinking about those things, and it might be worth investing in some of the upgraded stuff that you've wondering if it's worth it.
Yeah, the big question is, how is this going to affect me down the road?
Yep.
Right? Might seem like a great solution right now, but time's going to come, and how's this going to affect me?
Yeah, like should I eat that really flat donut?
Yeah.
Or should I eat the smaller, bigger one?
Exactly.
Won't affect you at all.
It won't affect me at all. What did you call that little flat donut?
Crispy.
A crispy.
Yeah, it's a frisbee.
It looks like a frisbee.
It did.
Crispy. Like Krispy Kreme?
Frisbee?
No.
Oh.
How do you even eat that?
Much better.
How do you eat it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the size of my face.
Well, just
Just
It's huge.
just start in.
I'll have to try this after
Looks
the show.
messy.
It did. It was like really flat pancake
Really
with a
fat
lot of sugar.
pancake. I ate
And
a whole
very
mess of
good.
them this morning.
A whole mess of them this morning. Garrett, did you have a donut this morning?
It's sitting here. She's almost gone.
They are really good.
He's been talking so much you can't eat it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, he said so much today that I can't believe he hasn't finished the donut.
I think you were sleeping there for a minute.
He was.
I am tired today, yeah.
You looked.
I watched Sean kick his bucket. It was great.
We got a lot of snow today.
We don't have
We
hardly
have
any snow.
We have no snow.
Well, I'm from a little further north than you guys.
Well, yeah, it was supposed.
Sean's from way further north than you.
And we got more snow than you guys.
I think I'm the only one that drove 2 hours to get here this morning.
Why doesn't he look tired though?
Sean's built different.
Sean's built different.
My
Yeah,
kids
no.
say the same thing.
We were supposed to get this snowmageddon today, yesterday.
Yeah, it was like
Snowmageddon.
feet.
So I was prepared. Drove to work, put my windshield wipers up so I didn't get too much snow on them. Grabbed my snow brush out of my truck.
Oh, I forgot that.
Brought my extra shoes so I didn't slip and fall across in the parking lot. And then I worked for 12 hours. And then I was ready to go outside and I opened the door and it had the snow to drop.
Yeah,
Still dry pavement.
Yeah, still dry pavement out there. I'm like, oh, this is embarrassing.
that's the way it was this morning. I'm like, gotta get the kids up early, right? Gonna be a
Yep.
busy morning. Look outside. There's no snow.
Yep, same thing happened to me. And I woke up this morning like, okay, it snowed overnight, ready to go shovel. Nope.
It just
Still could see my driveway.
it baffles me, man. Like the weatherman just worked this thing up. Like it's gonna be huge.
Snowmageddon.
Nothing.
A little further north, though, my kids get the day off. Snow day.
How much snow did you get?
Hardly any.
I was waiting for that answer because I
I
knew
mean-
the answer.
You know, when I was a kid, it'd take a foot and a half before they canceled school.
You were like,
Then you'd hop on the snowmobile, just go right down the road.
well, think about it. You were like in the NBA draft, right? You had to sit on your couch and watch the ticker at the bottom of the screen. Like, come
Right,
on,
absolutely.
Come on, call my high school. Yeah, third
Sure.
round, we're good.
Turn on the AM radio,
Yeah.
or yeah.
Like literally no kid today is gonna ever know what it's like to be in the NBA draft. I know that feeling.
No,
I
right.
remember in high school, like, come on, video game day. Come on, video game day.
Yep.
Now I get a text, an email, and a phone call at the same time.
2 days before.
Enjoy your distance learning.
Yeah. No. Hey, get this. 2 days before, they let them know that they're gonna have the day off, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to school on Friday because it might snow. There's a chance.
There's
Right? Like what-
flurries.
Yeah. Like what happened?
I don't even think there is really snow days anymore
guess
because
what?
everything can be online.
Well, that's what we were just gonna talk about. So Sean's telling me today. He comes into my office and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "My kids don't have school today." I'm like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, distance learning day." He goes, "No, they're just off school today."
They still get a real snow day.
Like they get real snow days up there still. I'm like, "Get down here." Nope, not happening. It's
What?
distance learning every time.
how far north they are. Really, they haven't caught up, right? To where the rest of the
Hey,
world
we're not in
is.
Wisconsin.
That's-
Come
I
on.
mean,
It's true. Sean's kids are all the school.
You got to be able to get internet to your house to be able to distance learn.
He's got the
right?
whole school to himself.
He does.
They built a school for the Morleys. Like, okay, and the Morley kids are in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 9th grade. Jesus.
Little house on the prairie.
Yeah, it is. Like, oh my God. But no, the cool thing about Sean, I was thinking about this the other day. You know when it snows at his house?
Yeah.
It's like watching the Wild in between the period. They just go out there with the shovels. I got the ice crew.
Sweep it.
Yep, the
It's
driveway's
true.
done, and they're done and back in the house in 5 minutes.
I bet that's neat, huh?
If it worked that way, it'd be great.
Just a whole line of kids out
Yeah,
there.
he just
Ready,
gets them lined
go.
up. It's like this plow line, done.
It's more like, Dad, can I run the Bobcat?
We've seen what some of the kids have done with some of the power tools around your house.
Bobcat.
You might want to be careful giving them the Bobcat.
Ah,
I think we saw the little one.
Start
put
him
the-
young.
The little one put the truck in the tree.
no, into the camper.
The camper,
The
that's
camper.
what it was.
He was 4, though.
The other one ran over something with a lawnmower, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
that happens.
That happens, he says.
Yeah.
Didn't the other one hit something with the boat?
Hey, Dad, good news. I moved your truck with the Bobcat.
Good news, Dad.
Yeah.
I cleaned off the hood of the truck. I used the Bobcat.
Bad news is you need a new hood.
Yeah, no, it's
Newly
never-
decorated.
Yeah.
newly decorated. Yeah, there's never lack of entertainment around the Morley house.
No,
I can tell you that much. I've heard some pretty funny stories around there.
no, it's always entertaining.
It is entertaining, definitely that.
Yeah.
They're good kids, though. I'll tell you what. Like, for having 93 kids, you would think, like, you know what? They're just going to be wild because you can't stop them.
Right.
They're very well-behaved kids for having 93 kids. It is incredible. I don't know if you hired a drill sergeant or what you did, but they listen really
Probably
well.
got to have a pretty sweet system with that amount of kids, right? Probably
Sure.
pretty organized.
Sure, he says.
Yeah, you'd almost have to be.
It's organized chaos.
Yeah.
Organized chaos. Yeah, but I guess think about that. Like, he's got this whole ice crew to clean his driveway. And then I got Caden and Ethan, who the two of them don't know which way to walk. So they get out in the driveway, and one goes left, one goes right, and I got this Y going down my driveway. I'm like, that's
At least there's nothing in your way.
So you just got to put skates on them, and they'd be fine. Then they'd figure it out.
Nope.
No.
I don't think Ethan
They
would
would
be
do
doing-
it in circles?
Ethan would be doing snow angels in the middle of the driveway still, because that's what he did when I put him on skates the last time. He even admits it. Ethan wants nothing to do with hockey. Caden, yes, Caden will skate and have a blast. But Caden, if you've ever seen Caden, he's a micro machine. So he has no strength behind him. I mean, I don't know how he's going to ever push a shovel. But Ethan, who's like the one I thought like he's going to be my hockey player, right? He's the bigger
He's a
kid. Out of
tank.
him. Yeah, he's a tank. I get him on skates. He goes out there, lays on the ice, and starts doing snow angels.
I like it.
And I'm like, how'd hockey go, buddy? I did snow angels. Oh, great. I'm glad that's how that went. You know, like he totally admits to it, too. So I asked him the other day, hey, buddy, you ready to play hockey yet? Nah, I think I'm going to be the mascot.
I'll be the manager.
That's what he says to me. I think I'm going to be the mascot. Okay, well, I guess we
like
need those
it.
in sports, too. So
I like
good
it.
for you. He's like the ultimate hype kid, too, because he stands behind the bench during the games and just pounds on the glass, tries to get the boys all riled up. We're down like 93-1, and he's down there like, you guys are in it. No, we're not, bud. We're done. He says to my wife on Saturday, our hockey game did not go very, very hot. No, Sunday. We lost 13-1.
It was
And
close.
It was a close game, real close. Actually, it was really close to the third period, and then the wheels fell off the bus. But we're sitting there, and there's like 3 minutes to go in the game, and my wife says, Ethan looks over at the scoreboard, and it says 12-1 at this point, right? Ethan looks over at his mom and my wife, and goes, "Don't think we're gonna win this one, Mom." Really, Ethan? Now's the time you grasp that, right? We got 3 minutes left in the game. We're down 11 goals. I think you're probably good on that one.
Yeah. I'm going to sit down now, Mom.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down now.
No more cheering.
I'm done. Yep. Like that's Ethan for you right there.
I love
But suppose we should probably get back at it, huh?
it. Yeah.
Everybody's ready to go have another flat pancake out there?
Yeah. I'm sitting over here shaking. I want another donut.
Shaking?
Yeah, I'm excited. They're so good.
Oh, I thought it was because you hadn't eaten in a while.
Like 45 minutes, maybe an hour.
He's got a Monster Energy drink that he just downed during the show.
He's working on his third meal.
Yeah, he's on his third meal.
Let's
meal
go,
in the morning.
boys.
It's 8
I wonder
o'clock.
why he's shaking.
Let's go, boys.
Sugar intake.
Bree likes donuts, and she's out there. Let's go.
Well, with that, I'm Brandon.
I'm Jesse.
And I'm Garrett.
And I'm Sean.
Thanks for talking shop with ShopSabre.